Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Right now I'm just hanging out in the truck camper. Just had some enchiladas, and the wife, dog, and baby are out for a walk right now. And so I figured I'd go ahead and just kind of fill you guys in on how practice went for the final Bassmaster Open here on the Harris chain, which is in Central Florida. We've had 4.5 days of practice. I fished each day. It's been kind of a crazy practice, had to relocate to a RV park and, halfway through. So I've missed a few hours of practice, but overall had a pretty full practice. I mean, come on, 4.5 days is already too much. But anyways, as far as like how I feel after practice, I feel like I'm kind of on a mediocre deal, to be honest. I know which lake I want to fish. The biggest issue is that, number one, the fishing seemed to progressively get worse and worse where I want to go. And so I wasn't stoked on that. And the weather trend that we've got coming is not, the ideal situation for how I want to fish on this lake. And so we've got, just so you guys know, we've got like 15 to 25 mile an hour winds tomorrow coming out of the southwest. We got thunderstorms rolling through, and so that especially that direction on the Harris chain can get a little bit hairy, and it's not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. It's going to be a rough day, and I'm making a pretty long run. It's pretty much as long as you can go on the Harris chain. However, I was able to find, a few areas on Harris close by that I want to try in the morning. That I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm boat 49, so I weigh in at 355. So fairly early flight and boat number. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to test these areas real quick. Give them a good 30 or 45 minutes. They're very close by. Just test them, and if it works out, great. I can put some fish in the boat. And hey, if I start to get up to that like 12 or 13 pound range, I'll just stay on Lake Harris. But if that's dead, or I'm only catching little fish, I'm going to have to make the long run, and I'm running to Apopka. And, Apopka this week has not been great. It hasn't been phenomenal. I think that the only reason I'm going is because it's the way I like to fish, which is flipping. And so that's the only reason I want to go. And it's not a great reason to go, but I came here with one goal in mind, and that was to flip in this tournament. So, win, lose, or draw, that's what I want to do. And so that's the reason why we're still going to potentially go tomorrow, even with the rough weather and a fairly short day. So we're just going to have to play it by ear. Time management is going to be the biggest issue that I'm going to have, other than the weather. The wind is a really, really big factor. For flipping and pitching, you really want calm conditions. You want the sun to be out, and we have none of that. We have the exact opposite of all the ideal conditions that we would need for a good flipping tournament. So I'm a little bit, worried about this tournament, to be honest, a little bit. But at the same time, I think that there's great potential, especially, if I'm wrong about the wind. This time, if it was the spring, the wind could really just completely eliminate a good flipping bite. But in the fall, when it's still warm, maybe it stays on. I don't know. We're gonna find out tomorrow. But anyways, that's kind of what's going on right now. I'm toying with the idea of staying close or making the run, but either way, it's going to be a challenge, with the weather conditions. Regardless, if I stay close, I'm probably going to be fishing around a lot of people. A lot of people are probably going to be fishing, similar areas. So I'm going to have to contend with boat pressure, or fishing pressure, and then if I make the long run, I'm gonna have to contend with the weather as far as a rough ride, and once I get there, it's probably not going to be ideal fishing anyways. So it's a big gamble. I feel like the last tournament of the season, since I'm not in the points anyways to make the Elite Series, might as well swing for the fences and fish the way that I like to fish the most, because I also feel like, as big of a risk as it is, it also is the most rewarding opportunity that I have after my practice. But anyways, that's what I got, and I'm gonna roll with it. And you know what? I've had a lot worse and have done really well in tournaments with a whole lot worse. So we're going to see where this one goes. But anyways, like I said before, boat 49, weighing at 3:55 Eastern Time. You can go check it out at Bassmaster.com. I'm going to kind of try to keep up with Bass Track. You know how that goes. But also, if you guys are around and you want to watch the weigh-ins in person, we're at Venetian Gardens in Leesburg, Florida. So anyways, guys, thank you for all the support. Thank you for watching. Let's close out the 2023 season with a solid first day of this tournament. So let's get started. Let's get out there, beat around this Harris chain of lakes, and have a lot of fun. I'll see you guys out on the water. Make sure you trust the process. Take care.